Well, we spend so much time focusing on academics in school. So, reading, writing, and math. Three of the hardest things for kids who have disabilities to do. We forget the enormous amount of benefits in the arts. So, in today's episode, we're going to talk a little bit about art. I don't know if you guys realize this or not, but on October 25th, it's International Artists' Day. Did you know there was a day to recognize artists? Because I didn't. And I think that's pretty cool. I am not an artist, but I have several family members who are incredible artists. And, if you have not met a person on the spectrum who's an artist, then you probably haven't met people who have been given the opportunities to show what they're able to do. Because so many people on the spectrum that I meet are incredible in the arts. So it could be drawing or painting or working with clay or working with blown glass. It could be film is a big one, right? Dance and theater. Theater where you get to actually become someone else for a little bit of time. There's an enormous amount of benefit of being able to expose your kids to the arts because, like I said before, sadly, our schools, they're spending countless hours every single day working on the things that chances are good that your kid finds are the hardest, right? So the reading comprehension. A lot of kids with autism, they're pretty decent readers. So they could read, you could put words in front of them. There's many children who are what's called hyperlexic. So you can put all types of different text in front of them and they can read it. But then when it comes to comprehension and knowing that these letters that form words actually are meant to convey meaning, is very confusing. And because I think that most educators think that, well, that's just the natural process, right? We teach them how to read and then they understand how to read because they know that the word BARN, that's barn, is that red thing that stands out there in the field, and sometimes we put cattle in it. Um, but for many kids with autism, if they haven't had that personal experience, if they haven't been to a farm and seen a barn and seen a cow and other things that you might keep in or around a barn, they don't understand that. And they have to be taught how to comprehend. And in another episode, we'll talk about reading. But for the sake of this episode, we're going to be talking about the arts. So I want to encourage you all to reach out to your local areas to expose your kids to the arts. Far too often, even as parents, we have our kids leave school at the end of the day and they have one therapy session after another, or we have a behavior technician coming to our home who's running drills all afternoon until it's time for bed. And oh, well, maybe we'll squeeze some homework in there. But if we don't give our kids exposure to the arts, we really can't expect them to, one, maybe discover who they are in life, and two, find the enjoyment that artists find when they're able to express themselves through whatever modality that they choose. And I have a sister who is an incredible artist, and I always say that to me as an observer of her, that I don't really see an artist being something that you become because you get trained. To me, you're an artist because it is who you are. So it makes me so sad when people go through life and are not able to have exposure to it because as an observer, it seems like you don't truly get to find yourself. And I think as parents, we all want that for our kids. We want them to be able to find the joys in life and express themselves through a modality um, that's just a beautiful one. And especially for those who may not verbally communicate, it's just another avenue for them to be able to share with us their world and how they interpret the world around them. So a couple things that you guys can do. You don't have to jump right into an art class if you don't want to, but visit a local art gallery. There's art galleries and museums like all over the place. Um, and I'm going to reach here, but maybe even taking them to the opera or a local playhouse to watch a play. It's really very exciting when you're around a bunch of other people that are there to enjoy the same thing. They get to see the actors on the stage and just see kind of how it all plays out. Go see a ballet. Now, of course, you can put your child in ballet, tap, gymnastics, even, because if you watch a good gymnast, yes, that's art as well, the way that their bodies move. Um, uh, Drawing, painting, working with clay. I know some adults who worked with clay when they were younger, and now they do what's called claymation, which is video through the use of clay figurines, if you will. And but if they had never had that experience when they were kids with clay, they probably would not be doing that today. And then, of course, film, photography. I was part of a group a couple years back where it was a bunch of teenagers, and we gave them, at that time, maybe it's more than a couple years ago, but we gave them disposable cameras. And we went out into the community and they took their pictures, and we had to do this thing called developing the film. So we had the film developed, and wow, what amazing photographs came out of that. It was it was really breathtaking, and it gave us a whole new view on things, because I know for me and my son, the way that I look at something is different than the way that he looks at it. And when I look at his photos, I can see that, because mine are kind of just straightforward. It's whatever's inside the box that the lens can capture. But he's looking for light. He's looking for darkness. He's looking for movement and the things that my brain just doesn't gravitate towards. And so, again, if you don't have access to be able to try those things, you're going to be, it's going to be very sad, right? Okay, so you could visit a local art gallery and kind of check that out. Talk about it with your kids. Call the museum or the art gallery in advance and see if maybe they have a time when they're expected not to have very many people there, or they might even have a sensory day when you can go, where the lights might be dimmed a little bit. There might be a lot less people there, things like that. So check that out. I know more and more are doing that these days. And if they're not, maybe just you asking for it may make them go, oh, you know what? Maybe that's something that we should start to do. Support local artists. So there are different organizations. Artists with Autism is one of them. So there's all kinds of different organizations that have to do with art and helping kids express themselves. The Autism Society of Florida works with Arts for All. So the 4 is the number 4. And they help us, their teacher from Arts for All, they run a drawing class. And it's online, so kids from across the state get involved in, and I attend those sometimes. And it's just amazing. Such a gift for me, to be able to watch them and really watch them how they grow over the relatively short amount of time. It's just a couple of weeks each session, and you watch them and their skills, and the teacher is fabulous, so that certainly helps. But it's a really good opportunity, and so you can check that out. You go to autismfl.org, and you can find information there. You usually run a couple sessions a year. Right now, it's for kids up to the age of 11. And that is that way because we had a class for middle school kids, but we didn't get people to sign up. So we didn't continue it. It is not free for the Autism Society, but it is free for those who attend because we take care of the price tag. So you could check that out as well. But I really want to encourage you guys to talk to your teachers at school. So if you're in elementary school, talk to the general education teacher and see if they can connect you with the art teacher at school and have conversations with them, the music teacher in middle and high school, the band teacher, and the art teachers. There's, every high school has art teachers and a variety of different things. It may be film, it may be certainly acting. A lot of schools have drama clubs, and I cannot overemphasize that enough. If you ever get the opportunity to see a drama club or a drama class in high school, the overall group of kids are very diverse. They're very diverse. They're very accepting. They're very welcoming to everyone, and it is definitely a very diverse community. And we kind of see that when we like go to the movies, right? Because people who are attracted to that, that's a lot of times that's the pathway they want to go, right? So if they want to become a movie star, say, they're going to be doing acting when they're younger, and we can kind of see when we look at the people in film, the sort of community, right? The diversity within that community. And so our hope, of course, is that within the film industry, we will see more and more actors with autism engaging in film. My son is an actor, and we hear lots of people on the spectrum tell us that the only people who should be playing autistic characters are autistic actors. And so I'm really hoping to see more and more of that. All right, so that's it for today. I hope that you guys will check out different opportunities for art and exposing your kids to the arts. And I hope that you find a budding young artist in your family that can bring them great joy and reduce their stress. I mean, there's all kinds of benefits to art. And just follow us along at autismfl.org, and we will be providing more information. I hope that you guys captured a couple things that are helpful out of today, and that you will stay in touch. Thanks.